Well, hello, this is Gary, and I came across this watch. It is a Longines, and really a pretty watch, which I'm guessing right now, it's just a total guess. This is maybe from the 1960s. Very interesting watch. I kind of got it in a collection of other watches, and I pulled this out, didn't really know what I was getting. And this one caught my eye right away. First of all, because it's a Longines, which is very good Swiss brand, and this one is really, I love the rectangular shape. Of course, you notice a couple things right off the bat. First of all, it doesn't have any hands, and I don't know where those went. Sometimes the hands fall off, and you can see them, laying down here behind the crystal, but that's not the case here. They are completely gone. This appears to be just a minute and hour hand, no seconds on this particular movement. And then the other thing that you see, other than the black dial, which I really love, but that there are four diamond chips, the 12, 3, 6, and 9 position, and at the other positions, they're just kind of like faceted pieces of metal. They're not diamonds, but they're kind of made to look like it might be. But if I zoom in here, see if I will focus there. It's really dirty. First of all, the crystal is cracked, and when it catches the light like that, it's super noticeable. There, the crystal is cracked, and on the dial face is kind of like a green. I don't know. It almost looks like that green stuff that when old leather interacts with metal, it often leaves this really gross kind of green stuff. It almost looks like that. It's down here, and it's on the 3 marker. It's underneath and on the Longines kind of nameplate there, and over here on this 10 o'clock marker. So it's pretty dirty, and as you can see, it's really dirty along the crystal here, and where the strap, where the lugs are, where the strap meets the watch. I thought it was silver, but actually on the back it is stamped 10 karat rolled gold, so it's white gold. And it's definitely seen some use. There's some scratches here, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to buff this and clean it up. And I really like the band too. The just a kind of really nice kind of chain mesh band. It's the thing about these watches from mid-century. They're a lot smaller than we are accustomed to at this moment right now, where our watch cases are 40 millimeter or larger. This is probably about 25 millimeter, and so they can tend to look too small on your wrist. But if I put this one on my wrist here, it's not too bad, and I just like it, because to me the rectangle shape is everything. So I was able to measure it, and I went ahead and ordered a crystal for it. And so really looking forward to getting into this project here, to take it apart, clean it, see if it's running, put a new crystal on it, clean everything up, and put this thing back into service. So join me as we restore this 1960s, I think, Longines men's watch. First thing I'll do is take this bracelet, take the pin out of that. So now we can lay it flat on the bench, and yeah, this is neat. This is engraved, and if you can see that, it says to Michael, love Gay, Gaye. Very popular in the mid 20th century. These watches would be engraved. sometimes engraved as a retirement gift. And then in this case, an engraved to say I love you. Okay. All right, boy, that was a tough one. It is so far gone. Yeah, wow, look at that. That is bent and completely used up. So we'll have to replace those, but here we go. I put the lug back in so that I'd have a little bit something to pry. Use it as a fulcrum to pry this part open. Yeah, that's what I needed. So I'm seeing here is the it says Longines Wittenauer, 10 karat gold filled, and it has the serial number. Well, what I'm also seeing, which is good news, is the etchings from past watchmakers and people who have maintained the watch over time, putting in marks there. That's pretty cool. And this is just sitting in there. And this is super dirty. You can see there's more of that green. It might have been that this got some moisture in it over time, and it really just needs to be cleaned. That should clean up pretty well, though. And let me see if this crystal will snugly fit that up. Look at that. There we go. I like this. I like this frame here. It's just really kind of almost like a starburst design. Really dirty around the edge here, but that will clean up. It's like a picture frame here. It's like a a frame with an oval mat in it. Is kind of how that is shaped. All right, so that's the case, and the crystal. Yep, this is acrylic. So new one of those on the way. We'll put that in, and now what we're looking at here, the dial side of the movement. Yeah, it's on there a little bit, so to figure out how to clean that. And the movement is 528. Longines, 17 joules, 528 movement. It looks pretty clean. Don't have to worry about taking the hands off. Actually, there is tension on the mainspring. That doesn't surprise me. As these watches get dirty, people wind them and try to wind them and wind them and wind them, and they wind them to the max, but then they're so dirty that they won't run, and then so for a long time the watch has full tension on the mainspring. And we'll let it down. There we go. Little at a time. Okay. Good. There we go. Ah, good. Good. It is clean on the inside. Great news. Balance wheel is at about the 8 or 9 o'clock position. So I always just like to kind of make a mental note where that is. Okay. There's the can opinion. There's a bit of a mystery why there's no hands on this watch. So if they didn't just fall out, that means that someone must have taken them out. And if they took them out and then put the watch aside, that is not a good sign. That could mean that something's up with this watch that someone didn't want to mess with. It looks like it just push this, be able to pull that out. Yep, there you go. Okay, so the ratchet wheel is on top of the seconds wheel here, so that will need to come out first. Very small screws there. That's the one that I wonder, just am wondering if that one is broken. Because what I'm seeing is, I need to look closely under magnification, but that looks like that top part has broken off. And I wonder if the top part is stuck into the can and pinion. So we're solving mysteries as we go. Okay. There we go. Very tiny. Needs a little help. There we go. Palette fork looks like it's in okay shape from what I can see of it so far. Okay. I just pulled out the barrel bridge, and tiny piece of metal fell out. Put it on my finger here. You don't want to see that, because I don't know what that is yet. I'm actually going to keep it because, I don't know, that might be, like in worst case, it could be a piece of a cog or of this winding pinion down here that hopefully it's not. But from the keyless works, let's see what I can see. I don't see anything wrong yet. Pinion winder. Okay, that looks, it appears to be okay. Barrel. It says self-lubricating mainspring. Really? Self-lubricating mainspring. Well, we'll probably lubricate it anyway. There we go. Just disturbed this cog, so I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way. Okay, just covering it with my finger there just to relieve the tension. This was a little bit, okay, there it is, great. There we go. Let's just take a little photo there of which way that goes there. Kind of looks like a leg. The dial has green oxidation on it. And what I'm doing is I'm going to put this in the parts cleaner. But first, I just wanted to see how strongly adhered this oxidation is to the dial. So very, very carefully with a wood, with a toothpick, actually, I've just been slightly trying to loosen the oxidation off of the markers. Trying not to touch the black dial face at all with the toothpick, but just trying to loosen some of this. It's really it's on there, but it's not super hard like glue, but it's, you know, it's probably been on there for a couple decades. And this is a little bit concerning here, right around the Longines name. I'm not going to mess with that too much. I'm just going to see what the parts cleaner will do. But if I just touch the green oxidation, you can see it will just kind of loosen up. That's what I want to do. Just loosen it. The Longines is stamped on there in silver paint. It's not applied metal, so it you know, you can't scratch around on it, or you'll remove the letters. So I'm just going underneath it. Not quite sure how this happens, but you know, like any oxidation, it just, if a little bit gets in there, then it starts to multiply. Yeah, okay, so next step, into the parts cleaner, and see if we can bring this back to life. Everything is clean now. My parts tray, I've cleaned it in an alcohol bath, all the internal parts here, and I did go ahead and open up the barrel, and I cleaned the mainspring. And you'll see as I as I cleaned this, some of the words on here where it says self-lubricating mainspring, which is just kind of like marketing talk, I think. Anyway, as I was cleaning it, some of that printing rubbed off, but not a problem. I'm going to put a little bit of, just a little bit of this grease, barrel grease in here. Just spread it a little bit. Then put the cap on and put it in this device here, which will snap on the lid. Get it most of the way there, and then the lid. And that should give me a click. Yep. And then I just like to visually check it to make sure the cap is all the way in and not only partially in. Nope, it's good. Great. I have this movement on my small movement holder, and this is definitely the smallest one that I've worked on. It's just a little bit of like an abrasion down here. I don't know what that's from. It might have been just some dirt in there that over time caused that, or who knows. But I don't know. I'm just going to put just a touch of barrel grease there. That's actually too much. I'll take some of that away. That screwdriver is a little big. I feel it scraping on the edges of the bridge. So yeah, that's better. Go down a size. This one feels a little bit funky. That feels very close. Let me see if I can get the bridge on. Ooh, 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 ooh. I think I got it, but I just knocked it with my tweezers, and that appears like I have it. Here. Not going to tighten it very much. Just put the threads in because I just want to test it and make sure that that I have both pivots in correctly, top and bottom. Because if you don't and you're off and you go to tighten it down, then you will damage the pallet fork. Okay, so that's in. Let me just take a look at it here and see if I can move the pallet. And if the pallet is okay, so I'm seeing the pivot, the top pivot right there. Here is the shaft, and that. So I was talking about the gate was missing. This is interesting because the pallet bridge has the gate built into it. So here's a tab here and a tab here that functions as the stop on both sides of it. And that does appear to be in. moving very nicely. So now I'm just going to snug up these screws here. Good. And while I'm here, I'm going to, before I even put the escapement on, I'm going to put some 941 on the pallet stones. I'm going to put some 9010 on the pellet bridge jewel on the top. Yeah, you know, it's amazing. You go to put oil on, and then under like 20 times magnification, you can see how big of a drop you're putting. And it's way too much. Okay. Now the escapement. Okay. Got it in. Okay. That is in. And connected to the escapements. And next one is the third wheel. That just fell right into place. So what I'll do is here, I'll put the balance in right here. And then I'm going to put the final wheel here. Normally I would call this the seconds wheel, but this movement doesn't have a seconds hand. So I'll just call that the final wheel. You know, I usually put the balance in after I have the top plate on. Just the way this movement is, it's so close together that I feel like it would be easier to get the balance in doing it now, and that looks like it did get into place there, I think. Oops, I moved it. One thing I can't do is I can't test the balance yet with air because obviously I would blow the other wheels out of their places. But I think that that is good. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a screw in to hold it. Yep, just tight enough to hold it. Okay, that looks like that went in. So you can see why I put the balance in before this one, because otherwise I'd have to really kind of put the balance in from the side. And I think that would be pretty tricky to do. Oh, it fell down in a good way. I can't tell 100% if these are in. They look like they're in. Yep, that one's in and that one's in. I love to see that. I just love to see those wheels working with each other. I don't see it moving the escapement wheel though. I saw the escapement move. Let me put a little air here. That's a good sign, but I don't think it's engaging with the pallet fork yet. Okay. All right. Good. I do see that the escapement wheel does have an issue. It's not fully in, which I'm glad I saw that, because you do not want to operate this until that's all in there. Okay, that time when I turned this wheel, I saw the escapement trying to go, so that's great. But I don't think it is completely in yet. I think I'm going to take the bridge off, because this should, this should go on, not easy, but it should go on straight away. And so now I think something else is not quite lined up. Okay, they're all connecting. Just out of curiosity, I'm going to see how this barrel wheel RX, because actually it might help hold it in place. Put this screw on here before I put the bridge on again. Okay, that's in. Now I just want to double check that those wheels moved a little bit. Yep, let's try it again. That looks pretty good. Okay, when I move this one, it is turning the escapement wheel. I believe I'm seeing the all of the top pivots. Is everything straight? It appears to be. Okay, I'm going to do a tentative, very gentle tightening of the top bridge. Put the two screws in. I'm just stopping right when the screw, first stops. That's where I'm stopping. One thing I noticed with this smaller watch is, smaller movement, is that I definitely need to work under magnification, so it doesn't look like my regular glasses, but about another 10 times loop on top. With the other movements, I didn't really need to do that. Now the screw is sticking to my tweezers. Sometimes just getting these things to go the right way, it's a little frustrating, because this one wants to go like, it just does not want to cooperate, and it doesn't have, like, any weight to it, so it doesn't want to fall into place. This means you have to take your time because this has a peg on here that it needs to engage with the spring, the hairspring below it. There we go. If I turn this, I should be able to put some tension on. It should be enough to load the spring and to put tension on the movement. And look at that. I just bumped it. And it is turning. Pretty awesome. That is really so cool. Really like the best part of this process is it's all in pieces, and then you get it to this point, and then it just starts working, and there it is. The escapement wheel is turning great. It also, I can see the 941 lubrication, the oil on each of the tines of the escapement wheel as it goes round and round, so that's great. Now I'm going to go ahead and oil 1, 2, 3, 4. Touching the pivots as I oil it, and so I might just stop it briefly. I really do prefer these 17 joule movements. They don't have the joule cap on the top, which takes a lot more time. This one I can just put the oil right in the little oval. Okay, it stood up for me. Now if I can get one in, then the second one will be a lot easier. Great. That was pretty smooth. Because, I mean, these things are so small. Like what to compare them to. Because on this, what you're watching is it's enlarged by 2, 3, 4 times. All right, they're in. Okay, a few more pieces here. I'm going to do the pinion winder. In there just like that. This part always reminds me of the game Operation. Like with this little indentation here, and you put this, I don't know if you remember playing that as a kid, but very reminiscent. My escapement stopped. Like that, and right in like that, so that it will do exactly that. Okay. So I got that spring in there, so that means, okay, then there we go. Like that. But that is kind of tenuous until we get the top plate in. Before I put that in, I want to put some grease in there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of grease right there, right here, on the ratchet. Right in there. Now I can take this. Gosh, it looks like a dinosaur, doesn't it? It's like a Tyrannosaurus Rex with long arms. Before I put the T-Rex on, there are two parts that I do need to put in here. Pin, like a pin lever, goes in like this, and it holds the pinion winder in place and interacts with this pinion bracket. Next is the minute wheel, and that goes on that tiny post right there. And so we'll put a little bit of grease right there. And then this is the minute wheel, kind of the go-between wheel between this pinion cog here and then the cannon. Now the T-Rex can go on. There we go. There. I acquired this watch, kind of in a batch of other watches. Someone had taken it apart before, and one part is missing, and that is the hour wheel here. And it looks like this. I have this part. This is not the one. This is I have some spare parts, and it looks like this, and it goes like this. And this one actually does interact here with this, with the top of the minute wheel right there. But as you can see, the sleeve part is too long because I need to be able to put the second. Actually, there's no second hand on this watch. I need to be able to put the one hand on that pivot there, and then the other hand around this collar. And this collar is too high, so I need to find another wheel here in order to put this back together. So this is on hold until I can find that. But what I can do is I can put the winding stem in now, and wind it so you can see it's winding. But I have to snug this part down so that the winding stem won't fall out. You can barely see it. There's a little tiny button right there. You can push on that button and then snap the winding stem in all the way. Like that. Yep. So now, first we'll wind it. Put a few turns on that. Just set it, okay. So that is together. That is as far as I can get it right now. What I'm waiting on is just working on the dial face. And then I'm also, that one last part that I showed you that I need to wait for. And then I've already cleaned the watch case. And so soon I'll be able to assemble this watch, but really happy that the movement is clean and reassembled and seems to be working really well. It'll be interesting to track the time on it, but the movement looks strong. Balance movement is strong. And that's what we want to see. Here is the original dial for this watch, and as you can see, it's in pretty bad shape. What happened was I got a little excited and a little aggressive, and I was a little careless with this dial. I put it in the new parts washer that I got, ultrasonic cleaner, and because of the temperature of the water, um, what it did was it really faded the black surface, and it did take off that green gunk, but it also took off a portion of the dial here. Over here where it looks scratched, this is just where I was seeing the dial was a little bit past repair, obviously, so I was just seeing what I could scratch off. And I actually did remove the diamond studs. I have those in a tray here. They actually came out pretty easy. I was able just to punch them out, and I could put them back in. So my plan here was, because the original dial is in this I won't say it's ruined, but it's certainly not a very pretty shape. What I could do is I could repaint this. The problem with that is, of course, it's never going to be original again if I start painting it. And that doesn't really bother me too much, actually. For me, these are watches that I like and will wear, and I don't really. I do like originality, of course, and I like things to be consistent with how they were made from the factory. But the purpose of owning this watch is not as a collector to have it pristine, and only original. But the problem is putting the logo back. This is a stamped logo, so I don't know how I would, unless I could find a stamp, to put a white logo on a new black face. I do love the black face. It's a flat black face. Anyway, it's in this condition here. So I found myself, in order to reassemble this watch, I need the hour wheel that I was showing you, and I need a new dial, and I need a set of hands. And so I looked on eBay for various parts, and I was able to find something that actually solves all three of those problems. And I'll show that to you now. It just arrived, and it is right here. This is of the similar era. This is a Longines gold, beautiful, like champagne or gold colored dial, in really excellent condition. It has the two original hands on there. I don't need this, but it does have a gold Longines logo crown, and then it has a complete movement on the back, 528 movement. And this is amazing, right? Because I can just take this apart and I could find the minute wheel there and be able to use that on my movement. As I looked at this movement, it's pristine. I mean, all of the screws, I don't think this was ever worked on. All of the screws are perfect. It's actually a little bit of a newer movement. I don't know exactly how many years they made this movement, but the serial number is a little bit newer. But man, I mean, this is beautiful. Let me see if this will. Look at that. Okay, well, that's moving it's moving the pallet fork and the escapement wheel. As you can see, it doesn't really have much of a wind on there, but that's great. So I'll have an extra 528 Longines movement that maybe I can put in another Longines watch. So I'm going to take this apart, get the parts that I need, and assemble this movement, which you can see is running, back into the watch. So pull this out so I can set the time here and put the minute hand over the hour hand like that. And now I can take those precious hands off. Actually, on eBay, I saw a set of original hands like this, and it was 60 bucks just for the hands. So I got a really great deal on this dial. I paid much less than that for the whole thing, for the whole movement and the hands and the dial. There we go. And so that's what I like to do. Actually, I did see for this movement, someone had all the various parts of the movement for sale. They had taken it apart. And so if I wanted to buy just the minute wheel, I could have done that. The problem was, that there each individual part was about 25 bucks. So I just got the whole movement because I only needed that one part. Now I have the whole movement. Okay, I'm not gonna risk scratching the dial, so I'm just gonna do this and just pour that over into my parts tray there. There we go. That is really a nice looking dial. Wow, I just love these. These are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 diamonds, actually. They are actual diamonds. And then they have a metal surround that's cut like this. That's not a diamond. It just makes it look, sparkly. But it's really cool. I think it'll look really great on the wrist. Okay, so now I need to take the dial off, and there are 2 dial screws, one right there, and then one on the other side. You don't need to take these all the way out. You just need to loosen them. Just slowly coming up. There we go. It is very clean. So here are the 2 parts that I need. Right there, actually just one. This little washer, I actually have that. I guess said a better way, I have another one. They're so standard from watch to watch that I just had one that I could use. But this hour wheel is what I need for my watch, for my movement. So I'm just going to take this hour wheel off of this one and put it right in there, like that. I'm going to put this into the movement holder. Took the other movement out. And to put this in here, finally, I'm going to put some grease on that. This grease right in there. And just put a little bit more here in the keyless works. The pinion winder. Just a touch there for the setting post. Now I can put the minute wheel back on. As a test, put it into the setting position, and now you can see it turning the hour wheel. The Inca block here, just take out the frame. Frame of the bracket, there we go. Now this will hinge back. It doesn't want to stay back. There we go. And now I can take that cap jewel out and put some oil in underneath it. just make sure that these are also oiled right here. Now, before I replace that cap jewel, I'm going to take a look at it. It actually looks pretty clean. Looking at it under my magnification right now. And I'm looking just so I can see the reflection. Yeah, it has a little bit of oil on it from when I had oiled it from the other side, which is, it's okay, but it's not old oil, it's new oil. If you're wondering, I'm looking at this under about 15 times magnification. Okay. Just going to take a quick look at this dial. It is really in excellent condition. So I am just with a very light touch, just to remove any specks of dust. And then I look at it under the glass just to make sure that there's none of the swab fibers that got caught on any of these diamond settings. Yeah, wow. I have to say that is, gosh, even under such magnification, that really is a beautiful, beautiful dial face. Last looks. Just snug those up. Okay. All right, one last thing to do, which is put the hands on. And this movement will be ready to be cased. Here are the hands. And they're pretty clean looking at them. I thought in the pictures of when I bought them on eBay, I thought they looked a little bit, I don't know, scratched or discolored at the tips, and maybe they are just a little bit, but it's not rust. And they are pretty straight. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know if I'm going to do much with those. I don't know if they need it. Yep, I think I'm just going to leave it as is. And line it up as perfectly as I can with the 12 before I really push it down. Being very careful not to touch the dial itself. You want to make sure that midnight is perfect. I got a new crystal for the case. It's a GS made for the Longines. And you can see here the old one really has this bad scratch on there. It's also pretty dirty around the edges. Now I probably could have taken a little bit of sandpaper or a file to sand the dirt away. But with this really bad scratch here, that's way too distracting. So you can see the difference. I mean, this new crystal looks amazing. It's new old stock. And it, we'll see if it goes in here. A little bit of a click there. I don't think I'm going to need to cement that in. We'll see. Even though it's just only gently clicked in there, you're not going to have any pressure from the other side to push it out because everything will be sealed up. So this should be okay. Man, that looks great already. Just all the dirt around the edges is gone, and with a brand new crystal, looks fantastic. I'm going to center this. Maybe just one last look here. So cool to see this coming together. To center that into this case back. That's great. Look at that, how that holds that together. And this will snap together. Like that. I wasn't sure what I would think about the champagne or the gold-faced dial with the silver, but I'm really liking it because this, even though it's a gold or silver, champagne, whatever you want to call it, gold, let's say gold dial, it does have the silver diamonds, or diamonds with the silver surrounds there, and of course the silver hands. So that matches that, and then has the silver Longines crown on it as well. And we are very close to having this watch completed. The original band that came with the watch, I had put that in the parts cleaner, the ultrasonic cleaner. Well, there we have it. Took a little while to get the the watch band actually on the case, but here we have it. That looks pretty great. I really like it. I actually might like it better than the original black face. I just think that that looks very sharp. It actually looks of the era. This watch is probably somewhere between 1969 and 1979. And I just love, too, that it has the engraving on the back. I just love that kind of history. So this will be a lot of fun to wear. And pretty cool. Just shows that you can take an old watch that's kind of been forgotten and in a drawer and make it look almost like new, even though it's about 50 years old. Pretty cool. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. I appreciate it.